YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back. Today, I'm ranking every NFL team starting right tackle from 32 to 1 for the 2021 NFL season. So, predicting who starting right tackles will be and predicting how they'll play for the upcoming season. Did the same exact thing for left tackles on the channel already. Go check it out. Rank some other positions as well. Almost onto the defensive side of things here, and then we'll rank units, offenses, defenses, everything. We got you covered. Smash that like button and join us. Subscribe, be much appreciated. And we have a Twitter. A lot going on in that Twitter. A lot of polls, fan-voted playoffs. You guys voted for all these seedings round by round. We're on the divisional round. Some of these are real close. Bills and Browns really close. So this will turn into a video. So you're going to want to check that out. NFL updates on here as well. We'll go on to the right tackle rankings for this upcoming season. So Steelers are going to be at the bottom of both the left and the right tackle position, unfortunately. There might be some camp battles there, but Zach Banner, who's still a young tackle who could still improve, but he comes in at 32. 31's going to be the Bears projected at right tackle, and Germain Ifedi, who was a couple years ago kind of moved to a guard position. Bears ended up using him right tackle, so very, very early in minicamp, they got him at right tackle. And they got Tevin Jenkins, who we ranked with the left tackles, as a backup early in camp. I still think he's going to start. That's why I ranked him with the left tackles. But it's a spot the Bears definitely can get better here, right tackle. Liam Eichenberg at 30. There was some talk he could possibly move to guard, and Robert Hunt could stay at right tackle. That's a possibility. Keep that in mind. But I graded Robert Hunt as a very good guard, so I'm hoping they move him and then Eichenberg to right tackle. There could, Eichenberg's a really good run blocker, but he could struggle early on in pass protection. It's not really anything to get worried about. With time he'll improve. A couple of rookies in a row. Alex Leatherwood at 29. I graded him as a guard. Maybe that was a little bold of me because he didn't play guard at Alabama. He played left tackle. But his size, I guess his lack of athleticism, and the way he blocks, how good he is in run blocking, I thought this guy could have been a dominant guard. So I was really hoping a team would draft him for guard. I think it was possible if the Raiders didn't take him, but the Raiders took him for right tackle. He's going to be fine run blocking. I think speed rushers will be a problem for him, and there's a lot of good NFL pass rushers with speed, athleticism that are coming off that side, so he could actually have some struggles early on as well. Dylan Raduns of the Titans. So this was a tough one to predict. They could go Lamb. They got from the Browns. I think Raduns also getting some work at guard. I'm thinking they start him at right tackle. That one's something to look out for. Another rookie, I ranked Raduns higher than the other rookies, right in the same spot, because what unit he's going into. The unit is more important. The unit will decide sometimes on that last piece. And I think the Titans versus the Raiders and the Dolphins, Titans' offensive line is pretty good. So I don't expect anything spectacular from him, but that could give him the edge there. But it's a spot they could improve. Remember, they missed on Isaiah Wilson last year, so hopefully they hit on this one. But again, he played left tackle at North Dakota State. They're working him at guard as well. I'm thinking right tackle he starts. That one's definitely up in the air. Caleb McGarry of the Falcons at 27. He struggled a little bit. There's been some minor injuries here and there. I remember when they drafted him, it was a little bit of a surprise to me. A couple years ago, they took him pretty early, so it's not super surprising. He struggled here and there, but if he's on the field whole season, he could improve. Titus Howard at 26. I expect him to start at right tackle. Some talk about him going to guard, but I think he'll start at right tackle. Here's the thing with Howard. He's pretty talented. I really like his upside still, too. That was a little bit of a surprising pick when they took him. I think he's more talented than 26. He's got an issue with penalties, obviously. You got to cut down the holding, and we got to see him develop further, which I think he'll get there, but it's still a work in progress, but he's talented, So he's at 26. Mike Remmers at 25. It's a tough one to predict as well because the Chiefs did bring in Kyle Long, but he used to be a right tackle, but it sounds like they're going to play him at guard. Remmers, they liked him a lot more at guard than right tackle. We've seen he had to play tackle in the Super Bowl. Yes, it was against the Buccaneers, in the biggest stage, one of the best pass rushes. So there's a lot of other tackles that would have done worse in that situation, even though he had a bad game. But it's looking like right now he could be the starting right tackle. It's probably the only weak spot of that offensive line. The rest of it's looking fantastic. But maybe it's Kyle Long. Lucas Nang, where he opted out last year, is a pretty good prospect out of TCU. Maybe that's a guy to look out for. But for right away, it probably could be Remmers. Next group of guys here, Jawaan Taylor at 24. Jawaan Taylor hasn't played here yet. He based on the past, he would be on that last page, maybe the first page we talked about already, towards the bottom there. He was a phenomenal prospect out of Florida. I loved his tape. He dropped a little bit because some injury concern. He has not played to where I thought he would, even though offensive linemen tend to struggle early on. Prime is almost like quarterback prime for some reason in terms of age. I think with this system change, Trevor Lawrence leading the way, it's going to be more similar to what, his blocking schemes that he ran with at Florida. I think he steps up a little bit. I almost want to go really bold and think he steps up a lot, but he's struggled so far. But I still believe in him. I still think there's some upside if he's healthy. Washington's right tackle, Cornelius Lucas, and there's a little bit of a battle over there. They drafted Samuel Cosme from Texas, whom some thought they can move to right tackle and start him right away. Lucas played pretty well for him, more like a swing tackle guy, and I think moving him to right tackle is ideal. He's a not a big name guy at all, but he's actually played pretty well recently. Not a huge sample size, but a pretty good swing tackle for today's NFL. So I'm ranking him at 23. Calvin Beachum at 22, kind of up and down. I think tough task blocking that right tackle spot for Kyler Murray, who rolls right into that position. So he's got a little tougher task than some. But yeah, a little inconsistent, but has some good moments as well. Brandon Shell of the Seahawks. Another one, not a big name, but played all right. I mean, you look at the Seahawks offensive line, you think about the Seahawks offensive line, you think it's terrible, right? It's terrible. Their tackle play was actually pretty solid last year. I actually put some blame on Russell Wilson kind of holding the ball too long going into those sacks. Maybe something, if you look back on it, not really at fault in terms of Brandon Shell at times, but still not at all a proven guy, but he actually played okay last year. They definitely could get better at the spot. Riley Reef at 20, based on his left tackle play, he wouldn't be ranked 20, but he's going to move to right tackle for the Bengals. This could help him a little bit. He's had some good moments as well, but this could help him a little bit, so he goes up to 20, being ranked higher right tackles versus left tackle where he's played. Bobby Massey at number 19, he's going to play right tackle for the Denver Broncos. They're coming from Chicago Bears. Really, the question with him is staying healthy. He could be better at 19 if he's healthy. We've seen him play at a high level, almost a Pro Bowl level in the past. He's just got these minor injuries that pop up quite a bit. So that's kind of the problem there. And they moved on from James because of those injuries, obviously. So it's tough. I guess it's tough to find these right. There's kind of a shortage on the right tackles. Nate Solder at 18 may not even start. I know a lot of fans are kind of on the Matt Part train there because he's a young prospect. I think they gotta go Solder. I think they kept Solder around for a reason. There was even some thought they can put Solder at left tackle where he plays and put Andrew Thomas at right tackle where he played a little bit of at Georgia because he moved sides, but mainly a left tackle. I'm banking on Andrew Thomas at left tackle and actually starting Nate Solder at right tackle. It's been some time since we've seen him. He was starting to struggle a little bit last time we seen him. I think his job can become easier at right tackle. 17 to be Billy Turner. We've seen him move around a bit in the Packers offensive line. They're going to have to shuffle things around a bit as well. And they got those guys that can, again, move around a bit. We've seen Turner play guard in the past. I think he'll be their right tackle. It's a solid option, kind of an average tackle here. Not the strength of their offensive line, but not the weaknesses. It really isn't a weakness of their offensive line unless it's injured. Next group of guys, I got Morgan. Morgan Moses actually hasn't officially signed with the Jets. I keep hearing they're on the brink of signing him. He's just working things out with the Jets, not really talking to other teams like he was. So if I'm wrong, it's going to probably look bad. But I really believe Morgan Moses is about to sign with the Jets. So I went ahead and ranked that so we didn't have to wait to do these or redo them if I didn't rank him, because we trust everybody that's saying he's close to signing with the Jets. So I went ahead and ranked him there. I thought he's been solid. I think he's pretty underrated, honestly. I'm surprised actually that Washington cut him, but they have, again, Lucas is underrated as well. So the Jets, I think, in that right tackle spot becomes better there if this becomes official. Alejandro Villanueva going to the Ravens, going from that left tackle spot to the right tackle spot. He's been declining a little bit, but still a solid option for the Ravens there. They go from Orlando Brown to Villanueva. Mike McGlinchey at 14, very good run blocker. If you're talking about run blocking, he's better than 14. Pass protection, it's a little messy. It's a little messy there. It's inconsistent. I keep waiting for him to kind of develop that, go further on, but it doesn't really happen. But still a solid option. I got him in the top 15, but very good run blocker. Rob Havenstein from the Rams, a little bit of a roller coaster career. First came in, saw some promise, then kind of went downhill. And then I thought last year he played within the top 10. Just what are we going to get from him? But yeah, again, last year he played pretty well. Can we get consistency from him? Next group of guys, Penei Sewell, rookie, comes in at number 12. I do think a raw prospect, but a damn good prospect, So if he does struggle a little bit at first, I'm not expecting big struggles, but I wouldn't panic or anything. Again, he's moving from left to right. I think that's ideal. That offensive line's looking pretty good, but another one of those bully of a blockers. I think he's already in the top 12. Not too much competition for the right tackle spot in terms of the rest of the league when ranking. Darrell Williams at 11. I thought he played phenomenal last year, well inside the top 10. But before that, we didn't see much of that at all. And that's when he was healthy. We really didn't even see him play at that level, and he wasn't really healthy. So last year was kind of rare, but he was key for the Bills. That took that offensive line to the next level there. So we'll see if he can run that back. Brian Bulaga would probably be, on the top page here, top 4 guys. I'd probably rank around number 4 if I could trust him to stay healthy. It's it's almost impossible to trust him to stay healthy at this point, but he's a damn good right tackle. We just hope he could stay healthy. It was even a problem when he was on the Packers, but again, a damn good right tackle here. Brian O'Neill, the Vikings, their right tackle at number 9. Vikings offensive line's been pretty terrible, but Brian O'Neill has been fantastic for them. The one bright spot, even though they're heading in the right direction with their offensive line, I believe, but O'Neill has been, the really only bright spot of that offensive line. He's been fantastic. Dominant run blocker. See him get that next level blocks and improving as a pass protector as well. Then we go on to the next group of guys. Jack Conklin at 8 had a phenomenal season last year. There's never been a question about his run blocking ability in Tennessee and Cleveland, top tier. Pass protection, he was better than expected last year. Before that, I wasn't thrilled with this pass protecting on Tennessee. So let's see another year. Let's see if he can kind of stick to it in terms of his pass protection there, but makes his way to the top 8, which before last year, I wasn't really ranking him anywhere near this high because he really struggled as a pass protector, even though he was damn good as a run blocker. So his year last year really boosted him up. Trent Brown at 7. Another guy that would probably be ranked a little higher. I know we're getting close to the top here. If I could trust him to stay healthy, some minor injuries popping up, but then he plays and he looks damn good. Last time we saw him in the Patriots, he looked like the best right tackle in football. So if he's healthy, he's got potential to be the top tier guy, really. So it's good to see him back in the Patriots. I think both parties are happy there. Braden Smith at number 6 of the Colts. I'm kind of banking him even getting better, than where he's been, because this guy was supposed to be a guard coming in out of Auburn. Everyone thought he was going to be a guard. The Colts play him at right tackle, and he's been phenomenal. Obviously very good. Another one of those guys, very good run blocker, improving as a pass protector. But I think he could even step up because he's still developing as a right tackle there in the Colts offensive line. That being a very great unit helps for sure. Lane Johnson, another big injury concern guy, could be the top tier guy if he stays healthy. It's hard to trust him to stay healthy. It also shows how good he is because it's hard for me to trust him to stay healthy, and I still got him at number 5. So obviously a dominant guy when he's on the field. Some ankle issues last year. Let's see if he can stay on the field, hopefully. Top 4, I got La'el Collins at 4, a guy we didn't see on the field at all last year. The year before, he was dominant, put on a clinic out there. And there was even some questions of what position fit him best. And he was dominant 2 years ago, just at right tackle. So I think they found a fit. It sounds like they're very confident about his injury. They're very, very confident about him for this year. So if he gets back to playing like that, he's in contention for number 1 as well. Taylor Moton really took off last year. He was always a raw prospect with showing promise, very solid, and everyone kind of knew this. Watch out for this guy is really gonna step up, and he did that. And I still think he has upside. So another guy that got the franchise tag there. So he comes in at 3. Second-year player Tristan Wirfs already at number 2, an absolute dominant performance last year at the right tackle position, absolutely ridiculous. And we knew he was a damn good prospect, but it really helped that he went to the Buccaneers. They needed one more piece to that very good offensive line that was right tackle. He was that final piece of that puzzle, and it was led by Tom Brady, Bruce Arians, and company there. It's just a perfect spot for a really good player. Just absolutely fantastic in his rookie season. And then Ryan Ramczyk. I thought it was kind of a no-brainer. Ryan Ramczyk at number 1 here from the Saints. Another guy that I think he's entering his prime. Crazy because he's already been playing like he's in his prime. I think he's just entering his prime, which is fantastic. Very consistent blocker there for them, not really letting anything up. It's a pretty complete, very good unit for the Saints, so that helps as well. So yeah, I think he's kind of just getting going, even though he's been going. So I thought that was pretty. I think the left tackle is more debatable because there's so many good ones that are barely anything is splitting them up. I almost thought right tackles were pretty straightforward. Obviously, you can argue some here and there, but it's just how I felt. I thought it was pretty straightforward here. We're probably going to just rank the 32 best interior offensive linemen because some of those guards and sometimes even center to guard, pretty interchangeable. Some guys move quite a bit. So I'll probably pick out the 32 best interior offensive linemen, rank those guys, and then we'll go on to the defensive positions there. And then, of course, more to come there. We got you covered here at the Goat House. So smash that like button, subscribe. Make sure you follow that Twitter link down below. Very important there. But, yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.